Welcome to this episode of On the Issues, Know Before You Vote. This series of videos is co-sponsored by Iowa Citizen Action Network, Lower Drug Prices Now Iowa, Iowa Paid Leave for All, the Iowa Alliance for Retired Americans, Progress Iowa, Americans for Democratic Action Iowa, Tax March Iowa, and Why Courts Matter Iowa. So today we're going to talk about why courts matter. Why should courts matter to every single American? Whether or not it's the Supreme Court, the lower courts, or right now how we're trying to ram through justice in the midst of a pandemic when there are so many other important issues we should be talking about. Well, we're joined here by Chris Schwartz from Waterloo, Iowa, and he has been a part of the Why Courts Matter Iowa Coalition for the past several years while we've been working on this. And Chris, would you like to take it away?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are at a critical juncture right now in the United States with the potential of President Trump having a third nominee placed on the United States Supreme Court. Now, I'll just remind everybody, these are lifetime appointments. And so this is a legacy that will last far beyond this interesting presidency. And I can say first, I'm going to sound the alarm just as an LGBTQ American. I'm not going to give up my right to marry the man that I love.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fight with everything I've got to ensure that my love is just as valued as anybody else's in this country. And just this week, we've seen Justices Thomas and Justices Alito hint at that we should be revising that decision that made marriage equality go nationwide. So that's one of the first and foremost things for me right now. But when you look at everything else, we always say that the courts are supposed to be the last best chance for justice. And whether you're talking about women's rights or workers' rights or student rights, the environment or our public health, the idea that we would have such a radical Supreme Court that is so out of touch with everyday Americans is just really alarming right now.
Well, it really is. And one of the big issues, especially in the midst of a pandemic, is healthcare. And that's one of the cases that will be decided by the Supreme Court, and probably we'll get the decision in the winter or spring of that. But I mean, it's bad enough if they roll back the ACA and all of a sudden I'm a pre-existing condition just because I'm a woman, let alone all of the other issues that people when they get to be my age start to have, and to have those protections taken away. But add on top of that, everyone who has been affected by the coronavirus, and we are looking at a catastrophe just waiting to happen.
Absolutely. If we see the Affordable Care Act go away by an action of the Supreme Court, and which would mean that nothing was in place, this wouldn't be a legislative move, it would just be a stripping of this. We would see tens of millions of people lose their insurance. They'd lose coverage for pre-existing conditions. Young adults would be kicked off of their parents' insurance plans, and that's particularly devastating right now when you look at how tough the job market is for young people. They were already surviving this gig economy before this, where they probably didn't have health care of their own. So being able to be on their parents' plan until they were 25, made a world of difference. But now we're looking at if we rush this Supreme Court justice through in an unprecedented short amount of time before the election, votes are already happening. People are already voting before Justice Ginsburg, his replacement was announced, and it's just really outrageous. We saw what happened 4 years ago when we were forced to wait over 9 months of the remaining year of the Obama administration, and now people are already voting for our next presidency, but we're going to still rush it through, and we see nothing. No regard for our lives that are on the line from Senators Grassley and Senators Ernst. They have so much power that they could wield right now, and it's just not happening.
And that is exactly right, Chris. When we look at Senator Grassley and Senator Ernst, they do both have the ear of the president and of Mitch McConnell. And they should be looking out for everyday Iowans. And so I think one of the things we need to do is call on them to represent us when it comes to this sort of a decision. And, you know, people will say, well, you're not going to lose these pre-existing conditions or different things because of executive actions that have happened. Well, I'm not so sure that those are worth the paper they're written on, in all honesty. I think that the repeal of the Affordable Care Act will cause the insurance companies to go dancing in the streets because they will be able to just do whatever they want.
Absolutely. You know, these executive actions are something that the president can stroke his ego with and act like he accomplished something. But we've already seen the most of the executive actions he did after the Senate failed to pass an additional stimulus bill have not gone into any effect because it's not law. It's not how
Right.
laws are made in this country. And so it just comes down to people are voting right now. We've got to wait and let their voice be heard. If the majority party in the Senate right now and the presidency maintain this, then fine. They've got the power after the election. But you know, show some respect to the American people and let their voices be heard in these final weeks here of this election.
That's exactly right. And, you know, while you might not think the Supreme Court means much to you, it does in every aspect of our lives. So, well, thanks for doing this today, Chris. It's always good to see you, and we'll be putting together a couple more of these videos, and I hope folks will stay tuned for more. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Sue. It's been great seeing you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'll shut off my recording here.